congratulations to Marcello Milani, who lost in the quarterfinal round and bounced back with 2 victories, 6-2 decision against Diego Sotelo, 5-2 decision against Suleiman Ba to move on.
We got back-to-back rematches of the first round matches here. The third.
Yep, as Danny Jones goes against Logan Brzozowski, so another 4v5 for third place. Again, no tournament bid on the line, but after a Jones takedown, Brzozowski, a quick escape.
And I'm sure these two guys know each other pretty well, given the Delbarton and Seton Hall connection.
This is a case here where, you know, these two are battling it out for pride. And you mentioned the rivalry at the high school level. You had the victory earlier in this tournament and the duels. It was Jones winning 8-1. So he's trying to make it 3-0 this year against Brzozowski, the first year, who had an impressive showing in the 4-2 decision over Hunter Adrian of Brown, who's battling it out against Columbia's Connor Smith and is in control of that matchup in the third period, battling for 5th place. They keep pawing up high halfway through this first period. And so this is most likely going to be the last match for these respective freshmen. And yeah, you got to be, if you're a Princeton fan, very proud of what Danny Jones has done. He's been battling it out with Drew Heatice all year. They've been pushing each other at 133, and Heatice moving up from 125 last year to 133 this year. That room, especially among the lightweights this year at Princeton, has been ultra competitive and very bright future for those young men.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, these young guys coming into the lineup, you know, it's a big deal, and they have a lot of responsibility. They want to compete. They want to be out here, so it's always fun to watch them come out here and put on a show.
On the flip side, if Brzozowski can finish 2 consecutive wins and get third, I think that's going to be a nice springboard into his summer and then what he has to look forward to for a sophomore campaign. It's been honestly a rough year for Harvard this year. They did not have a dual victory, but they're not going to be down for long under head coach Jay Weiss. They've been an excellent program, and Brzozowski can be one of those players that makes that next step forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Short time here in the first period, as Danny Jones with 2 takedowns in this first period in the driver's seat, leading by a 6-1 score. The 133 5th place match is over. Hunter Adrian by tech fall, winning 19-3, so he's in 5th place at 133. Connor Smith of Columbia finishes 6th. Adrian finishing out his Brown career prospectively, unless he gets an at-large bid with, again, over 50 wins in his career. But now Jones goes down and is holding his lead, and that's exactly what we don't want to see. Dominant in that first round and trying to get that escape early here in period number 2.
It's never good.
And it was him grabbing the knee. As much as you want to finish out this tournament with the lead in your final match of the year, obviously you don't want to risk further damage as well. So they'll look at him.
2 good takedowns though in the first period, or so far through this match, I should say, for Dan Jones.
And he's trying to literally shake it out right now. And he's going to say that he's good to go.
Yep.
And that is nice to see. And you see the choice for Brzozowski, and if you're asking why is it neutral, well, Jones was on bottom. You don't want to give that extra point for an escape. Jones, back at it, though, with a high gear. And look, if you're Brzozowski, you see the injury timeout, you have to be extra aggressive here. It hasn't stopped Jones, though. He gets his third takedown, leads 10-1. Brzozowski working that left side, but Jones is still at it. And how about Danny Jones just working right through it? The Princeton freshman hailing from Del Barton. We mentioned it earlier, Pat. I know as a former Green Wave wrestler yourself, happy with what they did yesterday to wrap up 3 state champions over down in AC. What a weekend, though, just for wrestling in general. The high school states, the conference tournaments here for the NCAA.
It's a fun weekend of wrestling. The postseason is here.
I'll say this, as someone who tries to absorb as much content as possible, it's honestly almost too much for me to comprehend.
There's a lot of wrestling on my Instagram feed, for sure.
People are saying, did you see this? Did you see that? And it's like, I may not even remembered it because it's so much to absorb. But obviously that makes it a fun time of the year. And we thank those of you that have tuned in today, joining us on your Sunday. We're in the consolation finals, 3rd and 5th place going as Brzozowski battles tough here, earns the reverse, 10-3 the deficit, but you see the riding time above 2 minutes, and Brzozowski will try to cut into it, approaching short time in period number 2. Jones may just have to defend with the belly here in the final 10 seconds. Still very much in control, despite an injury timeout. Jones getting his 3rd takedown and leading big, and now he's just trying to finish it out for the Tigers.
Your left leg back. You know what's coming. Find the single again. Find that single again. 2 minutes hard. Finish the day.
Pulling at it here from neutral position. And if you're Brzozowski, as much as you say, okay, well, maybe I can earn a point with an escape, gonna be hard to cut into riding time when you're on the bottom, and gonna be hard to cut into your 7-point deficit when you're not on your feet.
Yep, definitely. Both guys just got to continue wrestling. A lot of time on the clock still.
Jones, a top 100 recruit nationally on the float big board at number 96. He was a New Jersey state champion at 106 as a freshman at Del Barton. 90 wins with the Green Wave. And he's trying to wrap it up with what would be 3 wins, a 3-in-1 showing at the Ivy League tournament, and ramp up his first year with the Tigers at 13-9. Very much in control, leading by 7. Final minute. And again, no real deep speculation. We're just going to say there's always an at-large, but it's a tough ask.
Definitely.
Unless you're ranked in RPI and coaches and you got 20-plus wins, then you're feeling pretty good about your chances. Other than that, you're just going to wait to see how things break.
Good feel. 20. You got 20. Come on.
20 seconds left to go, but I think if you're Danny Jones, you come into this tournament as a 4 seed and you finish top 3, you're thinking it's a solid job. He would have loved to have gotten that victory against the top seed Tyler Ferrara, and it was close, 5-2. He very close to a takedown in the final half minute. Didn't get it done, but a strong showing today. Nonetheless, finishes up with a major decision. So he gets a pin, a tech fault, and a major decision in his 3 wins here today at Jadwin Gym.
Yeah, if you're Dan Jones, you got to be happy with the way you competed, man. You came out here, you gave it all you got. You know, you didn't necessarily get that bid that you were looking for, but you know you're right there with those guys.
Yeah, I mean, you're potentially a half move or an inch or 2 away, and you see he is leaving with a bit of a limp, but again, he has to have his head up high